One could say that this is a battle in the Godsword camp, where two mesmers, one conditioned mesmer and one mixed damage mesmer, are fighting against the Godsword camp. Enemy forces have 2 or 3 players and a ballista. Although the fight is nice to watch, it is not the reason why I put it up. This battle is a good opportunity to show how to kill a mesmer, why fighting mesmers without prefer is like fighting thieves without prefer, and as a roamer, how much do you need to switch tactics and adapt to the situation. For example, this stomped ranger here. He overextended instead of hiding behind the guards. He rooted himself using barrage skill. When he was focused by me, he started to fight instead of running back to the camp, and he was far too predictable. Esh Irx knew where he will appear when he came back from stealth, and left his distortion to stomp him. I knew Esh Irx will do it, so I didn't follow him. My role at that point was the one of a lure and the one of a skirmisher. And your role can be everything your build permits you to be. Now, why didn't I heal earlier? Because I was a lure again. I believe in my dodging skills and I've got blocks on my character. I didn't notice a ballista at that time yet. When I did, I ran as fast as I could. I know that Esh can usually manage it on his own. Look at the map, please. Esh signals me to come behind the house. Although I see an enemy on low hit points, I come to him because we are a team. Something happened. After a short communication, we already know what to do. We play together a lot. We don't really need a voice chat. A type of plan is formed. Instead of dancing with them in the camp, we need to assassinate a ballista. I approach behind the well, so enemy ballista doesn't have line of sight, but my plan is fooled. Why is it fooled? Because I've got only 2 stun breakers, and 1 is on cooldown at this point. If I got stunned or immobilized or knocked down under the ballista fire, especially a superior ballista fire, I would be as good as dead. Mistake on my part here. I should have dodged leftwise, not rightwise, not under the ballista fire. Nothing impossible to rectify though. Now comes the fun part. I go all like, na, you can't see me, and I got hit by a ballista. I'm like, what? I couldn't have been the target and there were no clones of mine, but there were clones of Esh and Esh was present, so he got the target and I got hit by a stray bullet. Please notice, Esh Irx used mass invisibility and ran towards me. I didn't attack not to break the stealth and I lied there waiting for a res. Mass invisibility allows Esh Irx to be an emergency healer. Like a banner warrior, but a bit less awesome. I keep close to Esh Irx in case he needs a heal now, but enemies do not follow us and we break fight and chat a bit about new tactics. So it's about 90 seconds of chatting and that is why the clip got cut. At this point the roles have reversed. Now Esh Irx became a lure, luring the same ranger we killed earlier, and I am the crowd control and interrupter. What's important here? I am a mixed damage, scepter, sword and sword focus build. Esh Irx is a condition build, but we both interchange the roles. I can be a lure and he can be a lure. I can be a DPS and he can be a DPS. I can be a stomper and he can be a stomper. He was an emergency healer and when the time comes I will be one too. Right now a new plan is to kill some guards to clear some space so we can assault the ballista in the 3 minutes window before the guards respawn. Of course, enemies, being enemies, are very irritating and stop us from doing that, using leashes and interrupts of general kind. Interesting thing to consider, there is no pressure put on us of any kind. According to my observations, mesmers are a bit like thieves, because they are a burst class. I don't mean the damage, I mean in what they do. What I mean, we can get extreme mobility, the burst mobility, using blink, phase retreat and swiftness, but we can't sustain it for long. And warriors, thieves, rangers, they will catch us. I am slippery like hell. Decoy, mass invisibility, distortion, but after I use all 3 panic buttons, air and blood frenzy panic button, I am easy to kill. So you either prefer a mesmer, or you don't kill the mesmer. Here, Esh Irx made me an opening and I tried to put an illusionary warden on a ballista, but my perfect plan was foiled by the guards and the stun from a guard. Esh Irx was dangerously close to an enemy, so I decided to use mass invisibility. He decided to use mass invisibility too, so we had 10 seconds of stealth, because they stuck. Now the problem was, I could blink into the camp, use illusionary warden, but I wouldn't be able to escape in case I got immobilized, or worse. Neither of us has mass invisibility at this point, so we can't be healers right now. Esh Irx is far better to manipulate on the front lines than I am, because he has a veil and torch as well, so he has 4 sources of invisibility. I have only 2. On the other hand, I have 2 blocks, one of which becomes a daze, which is an interrupt, and I have a focus, so I accelerate us, and I can pull enemies. Believe me or not, although Esh Irx is more survivable than I am, if I went the same build he is, even if his damage might be higher than mine, we would be less efficient overall. For example, this ranger, I have pulled him using focus inside my illusionary warden. Not only it downed him, but also it created a sphere, and enemy mesmer could not easily come and heal his ally without endangering himself. But as Esh Irx is far more slippery than I can ever be, he is far better at stomping than I will ever be. In short, although we both can fulfill a lot of roles, there are some roles in which I am better, and there are some roles in which he will be better, because our builds are different. But the builds only allow us to have some roles and to do stuff, but they are not something which needs to be done by this particular build in this particular situation. It changes in guild versus guild situations, where every person can be very specialized, because you know you will play with particular people in particular situations. But in small-scale roaming, it is impossible if you don't have a set team. This is also the reason why I will never go pure berserker in World vs. World, or pure soldier in World vs. World. Although burst damage would be awesome, I would not be able to be a healer. And if I went soldier, okay, I will never die, fair enough. But what do I do here? Because of many burst escape tools, mesmers are not the class which is focused the first on the battlefield. Mesmer could be a great pure damage class in World vs. World in roaming, but I don't want to lose everything else I am able to do only to become this. As Esh Irx is much more invisible than I am, enemies focus on me, while Esh Irx picks a single enemy and stomps him off camera. Because of clones, it is hard during fast battle to notice which mesmer is real. If you can focus on one, it is easy. If you can't, if mesmer goes invisible all the time, and you are preferred, it's easy to lose him. Now please look at Esh Irx, not me. He becomes a prefer, running after Abaddons and trying to take fire on himself, buying me time to stomp this particular thief I am trying to stomp now. If he stayed next to me all the time, enemies might have noticed that there is a fallen ally, but as it stands now, I am safe to make mistakes. And it seems he got one as well, but he overextended a bit. I mean ballista. My time for emergency healing using mass invisibility. Please notice the ballista didn't have anything to target because I did not dodge to create a clone. Please notice my cooldowns. I wanted to reset the fight right now, but Esh had a different plan. Using the confusion and chaos, he wanted to assault a ballista. We didn't communicate again. Well, without voice chat it's hard to. And so, from my point of view, it was a bit more daring plan that I am used to perform. Especially as if the enemy had Ballista Mastery 1, I could have received a spread shot in the face, which would annihilate me. Fortunately for me, Ballistae do not get the level of respect they should from the players, and so we were able to down the Centuria player. So the plan, although very risky, proved to be a successful one. We weren't able to capitalize on this victory though, because the ranger got up and we got highly preferred. I needed to escape the camp, and if anyone followed me, I would be doomed. I mean, I had only distortion left in my escape tools, and I had a cooldown on weapon swap. So yeah, 10 seconds cut from the movie, and we are back to action. Esh Irx never left the camp. In his build, he is very, very durable, while I resetted the fight a bit, and came back to support him. With low hit points, I was a bait again. I got focused by 1 or 2 players, and so I was able to stretch them, so Esh Irx is able to execute something over there. Although my hit points do not look very respectable, I can do a lot with them. So, Esh Irx escapes, I fool around a bit, Esh Irx recovers some hit points, resets the fight for him, and a ballista is manned again. Oh joy. Please notice one more thing about now. How much does our playstyle differ from melee train playstyle? They run in a very tight bunch with a lot of combo fields and blast finishers, and they run like one unit. With Esh Irx, it is very different. We run like two individuals, we work as a team, but as a remote team. We are aware of each other's actions, we look for opportunities, we are predators, but we are not soldiers. It doesn't mean that melee trains do it wrong or we do it wrong. This is the result of the class specifics. They have water fields, heals, and insane armor. We can't do it. Simply can't. What we have is mobility and diversion. We are dangerous for each other if we are together, which is shown when I was downed because a ballista was shooting at Esh Irx. What is important? According to your party composition, you will either be in spread formation like me and Esh, or in tight formation like a melee train. There will be other variants, not only those two, but you will have to choose a variant according to your own composition of a team. No matter the formation you are using, everything is similar, because there is one target, you run after one target, you try to down one target, you try to get easy kills, and it doesn't change. It's what me and Esh Irx do as well. Sometimes he's the diversion so I can execute someone, sometimes I am a diversion. Our roles change fluidly, and we are able to fight as long as enemies do not prefer us too much. And this, the fact we aren't really preferred, is the reason why we are doing so well in this movie. Mesmers are not thieves. We cannot become invisible for too long. We do have one burst invisibility if we both stacked mass invisibility, but it is 10 seconds, and we don't have sustained mobility as well, only burst mobility. As they aren't really following us, and as we choose the battlefield, we are able to strike deeply into their lines and go out. One thing, I am not the one who goes behind the lines. Esh Irx is the one who does, because he has higher invisibility uptime. But I am the one who they focus on, and I am the one who tries to control them, pull them, and interrupt them. I try not to overextend though, and I try to attack only if I have at least one stun breaker and at least one invisibility tool. Otherwise, if they focus on me, I am dead. I think they did never realize that if they followed me, every time we split with Esh Irx when I escape the camp, I don't have any more tools at my disposal. And about this time they have started to prefer us. Please notice both my hit points and Esh Irx's hit points. Now the point is not that they are swarming us, they aren't. They are numerous, sure, I agree with that, but it's nothing we did not fight against in the camp, for example. The problem is, this time we can't reset a fight. This time we can't escape. Now we are in the constant state of fight and we can't really do it. Let's even assume you would be able to down this one invader. And what? I can't stomp him because I don't have any tools at my disposal. Esh Irx can't stomp him because it would be a death sentence for him. Without any clones, my healing power is not enough to heal me properly, and when I need to escape and run for my life, I can't really select a target to help our situation. This is a war of attrition which we are slowly losing. If I am correct, there are 5 enemies and 2 clones over there. They do not focus any one of us right now, they switch between targets, so we can live a bit longer. But we can't escape, we can't mass invisibility, we can't heal each other. And our hit points are slowly getting down. Right now, it's just a matter of time. To recap, my build might not be the best, Esh Irx's build might not be the best, but we can fulfill many roles and we do it efficiently. Super specialized build won't. For roaming you want versatility, not super specialization.